episode of UnVeil. On this platform, I interview women of color on discovering the beauty that lives and lies within them. We also take a closer look through their eyes on their interpretation of what they define as beautiful.
Hi all, welcome back to another episode of UnVeil. And in this video, we're going to take a listen in with 4 women that I've interviewed on my channel. This will also conclude as part 2 of UnVeil Rewind. We start the conversation with Abena Ansah. She's the founder of Salome Shea, which outsources shea butter directly from Ghana. Now, I am undoubtedly a spiritual individual, so when Abena speaks about Saturn's return and the part that it plays into our lives, my ears immediately perked up. Let's listen in on how one's return creates repositioning into our life.
My Saturn's return, it happens to everybody between the ages of 27 and 32, where something really traumatic happens. It could be a car accident, it could be the passing of a loved one, and it just opens you up to become who God created you to be. So in that time, you lose friends, you lose interest in things that you cared about. Your whole life turns around because basically God is taking away things that are not real for you and taking away all the BS and bringing in the real stuff. Right. So everything basically 180s. And that's why you see a change in my channel. Because at first my channel was like, okay, what's everyone else doing? What? Oh, okay, Jackie Ina's doing this. Oh, okay, like this person's doing that. Okay, let me do that too. And it was inauthentic.
Yes.
I had sprinkles of the spiritual stuff, but I wasn't confident in it. So these past 3 years of me going through my Saturn's return, I'm like, oh no, I can do this. I can shift people's energy through a YouTube video. I can assist people in their journey just through a video. So that's why you can see like that shift in my channel. It's just more confidence in me, as I like to call myself like a healing facilitator, right?
Yes.
Someone that just assists people as they're going through their healing process. And yeah, just going through my own dark night of the soul to assist others going through theirs.
Wow, when I hear Abena speaking on this, I thought to myself, oh my goodness, this is eerily true. Then I remembered in my conversation with Miss Carol, she had a shift at 32, but not in a Saturn's return way, more so taking a leap of faith. Let's listen in on her transition.
So when did you make the decision about moving to California, Los Angeles?
Oh, that wasn't until I was 32.
Oh, okay.
That was after I had garnered some acting experience.
Yes.
And I was lucky enough to get a small part in an American film. They were shooting in Toronto. And in my naive attitude, I said, okay, now I'm ready. I've got American experience. Just go to California.
Yeah.
And I was very lucky. Because I didn't know the rules is why I got work. I mean, you're not supposed to hitchhike to 20th Century Fox because you hear of a part that's being cast, sneak past the gateman, find out where the casting lady is and say, look, I read your script. I know I can do this. And she said, who's your agent? So I made up, I knew of an agent. I didn't have one.
Wow.
So I told her, who's on agency, which I wasn't with them. So I ran back, I hitchhiked back to Husan, and I said, look, I've just given your name. You're going to get a call. And I did. And they were so excited because I got my own work to get an agent. It was hard work. I used to bang on doors a lot. I admire all actors and entertainers. I really do. Right. Because it's the hardest work in the whole wide world. People think, oh, it's so glamorous. They don't know what these people go through.
There's a quote that states, success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you're doing or learning to do. Miss Tracci Johnson knows this all too well. She's a legendary hairstylist, and her specific expertise is in the direction of short hair cutting for women. Here we are speaking on her mastering this skill set, but this dexterity of beauty was predefined through her family tree.
Hair cutting was always something that intrigued me. To me, if you could master short hair, you can do anything,
Yeah,
because short hair is way more difficult than doing anything else.
oh my
It
God.
is the most difficult. That's why it's very hard to find people who actually can do it. So I wanted to do something that was exclusive. I wanted to do something that everybody could not do. I wanted to do something that I was good at, because hair is an art and I'm an artist, and it came easy for me. You know, it came naturally for me. First of all, I come from a whole line of beauty professionals. I'm not sure if you got that in in your research, that you know, my great great grandmother, she actually worked with Madam C.J. Walker.
Wow.
So I come from a long line of beauty professionals, and it's in my blood, and I mean that on both sides of my family.
Wow.
And so, yeah, my grandmother, she had several sisters, like I think 6 of them were hairstylists. One of her sisters, she was the first African American female to own a barbershop in the state of Texas.
Wow.
That's on my mother's side. On my daddy's side, my aunt was the first African American to open up a salon in Beverly Hills.
Oh,
and she was a celebrity hairstylist as well in the 70s. So I come from, you know, a rich heritage of profession. So, you know, it was in my blood, and my mother wasn't surprised. You know, my family wasn't surprised when I wanted to, you know.
Transitioning over to Ferriss Mason, who, if you're following the UnVeil channel, you would know that Ferriss was the very first woman who I interviewed. She granted me this opportunity. She believed in me on this new journey, so I'm forever grateful to her. Listening back to our interview, I realized that having a short haircut can, yes, be so sexy, but for some of us, and women like Ferriss, as well as myself, it also can create a moment where we seek to reclaim our power and strength. There's that saying that goes, a woman who cuts her hair is about to change her life. For Ferriss, that transfiguration was definitely needed.
What is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I have had pretty much hella hairstyles in my life. It's only one hairstyle I've never had or attempted to have is dreads. Like, I'm not into that. It's just way too. When I cut my hair the first time, it was end of 2009 or beginning of 2010, and I did it because it was like to help me move on from a relationship where I had got beaten up.
Oh wow.
And my other ex, who I started being around more after that, that was one of the things. He was like, why don't you cut off your hair and like burn it and like release some of those things? And so I just was like, okay, sure. And I was so nervous because, like, you know, you don't really.
Gosh.
And I don't think, I mean, growing up, you know, I grew up Jehovah's Witness, so growing up at the Kingdom Hall, you know, that the sisters that had like short little fros or stuff was like the older sisters. And that usually happens, like the older, like, you know, they just had short hair, but nobody had like a fade. That's mostly, you know, all the brothers, a man who had fades, and like, you just always think you need to have hair. And then like, I still to this day don't like the texture of my hair because it's very fine. And like, I don't have like 4C nice, you know, get them nice, thick, luscious twists, all that shit. My shit, you twist it up, it's going to be straight.
Right.
And like, and it's not like full and fluffy. Like if I have it, when I used to wear my hair in other ways, it has to be a style.
Yeah.
Like just your hair is just how it is. But and then I went natural probably when I was 20, 21. And that was just a shock of my whole life because didn't even know the texture of my hair until that time because I had perms.
Right.
And you know, and then but now like this, I will sometimes, you've seen, like I'll grow it out to about this much.
Yeah.
And
right.
Much work, and then it gotta go.
Right.
Like, I'm like, I can't do it. I don't want to be sitting here for hell. And I just remembered all the hours I spent as a youth.
You know what I love about interviewing all 4 of these women was that their answers to my question, and what you will hear in a few minutes that I ask every subject who I converse with. What is your favorite feature of yourself? And for these women, their answers remind me that we as women really love the skin that we're in. We take care of it, we honor it, but beyond just that, we know that the light that shines within us is truly our power, and because energy speaks before the tongue. Thank you so much for watching part 2 of UnVeil Rewind, and always remember, when you unveil a piece of yourself to the world, you are showing us why God wanted you here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
My favorite feature is I always try to find something in beauty in every person I meet. I'm not always right there, but if I find myself not finding the beauty, I'll look for it, or I'll speak to them.
Yes.
And I'll give them energy so that I can realize that they're a human being. And you know, we're all snooty to a degree. You might say, "Oh, why is she so fat?" Or, no, that's not the way to look at anybody. It's to find the beauty in them. I think that another feature I like is I have a great sense of humor about myself.
Yeah.
I'll do something so silly or dumb, and I will kill myself laughing at me.
Yes. Yes.
I think about constantly, you know, what I put into my body. I've always been one who cared about, you know, taking care of myself. You know, I always felt like, you know, from day one, I'm in the beauty industry. That's what I do. You know, so that's who I am. So because of that, my life has to reflect that. I need to move in that, you know, in everything that I do, everything that I say, the person that I am, you know, because, you know, beauty is not just outside, it's also inside. So, you know, first and foremost, you know, I get up, I spend time with the Lord, you know, I get on my face before God because I'm his daughter first.
Yes.
And then, you know, and I, that in itself, you know, his light shining from me, makes me beautiful. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, I like my eyes, I like my lips, I like my cheekbones. Yeah. I mean, I my face, so yeah, I actually like my face. Like, I don't feel a way about my nose or like, you know, my like all the things separately. I like them separately and collectively. You know, we have moments where we be tripping, but like, I definitely, you know, appreciate my ancestors for blessing me.
Yes.
My first favorite feature will always just be my energy and my personality, right? The things that you can't see when you first meet me. That's my favorite thing, because no one can take that away from me. No matter what hardships I go through, I'm always going to have my personality. I'm always going to have my pure spirit, my pure heart, my pure energy, like, period. You know, even if I have like a bad year, I'm still going to come out brighter than ever. So it's like, that's
our strength too. That's our strength as being like Black women. Like, we go through so many different hardships, so many different situations, and it's like, okay, girl, let me just put my makeup on and just kind of today, you get what I mean? And no one knows, like, literally 15 minutes walking to the room, you were having a mental breakdown. You know what I mean? Like, those experiences that say, hey, we always can figure it out. You know?
And rise to the top and continue to shine, right? And I think definitely as women, that's our strength, is being able to have emotions. And I mean, men have emotions too, but to be able to show our emotions, to feel our emotions, to let them move through us like waves, and put our makeup on and keep it pushing, right?